The Royal Armoury of Turin is one of the world's most important collections of arms and armor, formed in Turin by the Savoy family. The museum is now part of the Musei Reali di Torino, the royal site that has unified the Royal Palace, the Sabata Gallery, the Archaeological Museum, the Royal Library and the Armoury. The whole site has been included on the UNESCO World Heritage List since 1997. The Royal Armoury was founded by Charles Albert, King of Sardinia, and opened to the public in 1873. Since then it has been housed in the Galleria Beaumont, built on the site of a previous gallery connecting the Royal Palace to Palazzo Madama. Designed by Filippo Chavera in 1733, it was decorated by the court painter Claudio Francesco Beaumont, hence its name, in 1738 to 1743, whose oil paintings on the ceiling depict stories of Aeneas. The gallery was completed after 1762 by Benedetto Alfieri, who also designed the nearby stairway as an access to the state offices, Segretari di Stato. Until 1832, several large paintings from the royal collections were displayed on the walls of this gallery. The paintings were then moved to Palazzo Madama, the first seat of the public collection called Reali Galleria, now Sabata Gallery. King Charles Albert decided to place his collection of arms and armor inside this gallery. Most of them came from Turin's and Genoa's arsenals, as well as from the museums housed since the 18th century in the Palazzo dell'Università. The royal collection included prehistoric and medieval objects, weapons, and armor used by the dukes, later kings, of Savoy, but also many prestigious diplomatic gifts. Charles Albert enriched such collection through the acquisition of single pieces on the market, mainly in Paris, and of whole private collections, such as the one formed by the set designer Alessandro Sanquirico in Milan and the Martinengo della Fabbrica collection from Brescia. In 1836, the king asked Pelagio Palagi to redesign an adjacent room in order to make it the seat of the Medagliera, i.e. a large collection of medals, coins and seals. The room's Greek-style furniture was specifically meant to preserve and display this collection, as well as antiques and other precious objects belonging to the royal family. The Medagliera was closely connected with the royal library still housed on the ground floor. Palagi also designed the so-called rotunda at the other end of the Galleria Beaumont, on the site of a former theatre, later ballroom, once connected to Palazzo Madama through a further gallery which was demolished in 1809. The rotunda became an extension of the original armoury. Arms, flags and other objects connected with the military history of the Kingdom of Sardinia after the 18th century were then displayed in showcases in this room. The collection includes weapons formerly owned by Napoleon and by the kings of Italy, since the Savoy family gained that title after the unification of the country in 1861. European and American swords, guns, and rifles are now displayed alongside Oriental arms and armor acquired by or donated to the kings. The Royal Armoury is part of the Royal Museum complex in Turin, along with the Royal Palace, the Galleria Sabata, the Museo di Antiquità, the Royal Gardens, the Royal Library, the Sale Cayables and the Chapel of the Holy Shroud. The idea of establishing a weaponry museum here dates to the end of 1832 when Charles Albert of Sardinia began bringing the weapons owned by the Savoy family to the Beaumont Gallery, empty of the great canvases that once decorated its walls. The first objects came from the arsenals of Turin and Genoa and the storage areas of the Museum of Antiquity. Pieces bought on the antique market were added later, including the important collection belonging to the set designer Alessandro Sanquirico from Milan. In 1842 the rotunda rooms, designed by Pelagio Palagi, were added to the Beaumont Gallery to house the most recent additions, including a collection of Oriental weapons, to Charles Albert's project. The museum further expanded with the donation of the personal collections of Charles Albert and Victor Emmanuel II after 1878. With the creation of the Republic in 1946, the Armoury became a state-owned museum. Today it owns over 5,000 pieces, dating from prehistory to the early 1900s, including a significant collection of 16th-century weapons and armor. The Medagliera Reali, Royal Medal Collection, is annexed to the Armoury, displaying coins and a selection of classical antiques and precious objects.